Drew and Stu are on the air.
Ready? Right.
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks. Presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome to week 18 of the Drew and Stu podcast. I'm Drew Livingstone. That's Cam Stewart. And Cam, first things first, our thoughts and prayers with Damar Hamlin and his family and the Buffalo Bills organization. A scary scene on Monday night.
Yeah, Drew, I'll tell you this. We've seen these episodes before, but I'm a little bit older than you. Hank Gathers in college basketball, and remember the Detroit Red Wings situation. And hey, this is the thing about sports. Like, you never know what's going to happen. I'm going to say this, though, and I'm not a doctor or anything, and I know I watch these shows and people have their opinions. I'm just happy one thing. This happened in a football stadium, and there were EMTs there. If this happened, like, walking the track or no one around, he's probably not around, and he has a chance to survive. So the good news is the EMTs got there. He got medical attention quick. He got breathing again. By the time of taping, still in the hospital in Cincinnati, but we wish him the best. And just sad for Buffalo. And you know what? I got to hand it to the guys on both sides there. Burrow looked at Allen. They're like, this isn't happening. We're not playing this game. The coaches talked about it. I know the NFL probably said, you know what? We got to get things going. But the players stepped up and said, this isn't happening. And it's the right thing to do. Sometimes sports is entertainment. This is a guy's life. So everyone needs to chill out.
Yeah, credit to Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor. They did the right thing, just took their guys out the field. They didn't care about any 5-minute thing, though the NFL did come out and say that they never said they had 5 minutes. So I don't know where that came from on the broadcast. I know Joe Buck's not saying that without someone telling him. He's not just making it up.
So, we're in the broadcasting industry. You don't say stuff unless you get something in your ear to say, hey, this is the deal. But anyway,
so they heard the story. It could have been the official on the field. Who knows? Yeah. But our thoughts and prayers with Damar Hamlin.
It's beside the point. I just hope Hamlin gets okay, and I hope Buffalo, and this affects not just the Bills, but the Cincinnati Bengals and everybody in the football world.
Yeah, and we still don't know what they're going to do with that game. If the Bills or Bengals play this week, we don't know. We will find out later in the week, but we will talk as if those games are going to happen. So bear with us as we take this sharp right turn to the Panthers and New Orleans Saints game, Cam. The New Orleans Saints are 3.5-point favorites against the Carolina Panthers. Cam, Carolina essentially eliminated from the playoffs. The Saints still have a chance. Where are you going in this one? Andy Dalton and the boys, or what?
I don't know, Drew. I got to be honest with you. Carolina kind of, they were there in that game with Tampa Bay. I was really hoping
they didn't even cover Cam. They were up by 11. Like all these double-digit spreads in the fourth quarter, the Tampa just comes back from.
I watch these games with my girlfriend, and there's a time where I'm sitting there going, I could be like perfect, and I ended up having one of the worst weeks of my life. That's the whole thing about the NFL. The fourth quarter, everything went wrong for me this week, and that's life, guys, and that's gambling, and that's why I would say, just a tip for everybody, in-game gambling or getting out of bets or cashing out, it could be a good option. I know a lot of people don't like to do that stuff, but you know what? Sometimes you should. But as for this game, Carolina is getting 3.5 points. I still think the Panthers, since they got rid of Matt Rule, they've been a good football team. They got a ground game. As for the Saints, now I have to, you know what, Drew? I was on them against the Eagles getting points. Now I have to lay points. I will take the Carolina Panther. It's the last week of the season. I can't abandon my Cats now. I've been with them the whole year. I think this game is tight. If the Saints win by a field goal, as of now, by taping, I'm getting 3 in the hook. Give me the Panthers.
I'll take the Carolina Panthers as well. I just think they're the better football team, and they'll play up for this game a lot more than the Saints will. I know it's in New Orleans, but I think Sam Darnold's playing for a job around the NFL, as are a lot of the other guys on that team. So give me Carolina plus 3.5. Cam, the Pittsburgh Steelers, all of a sudden back in the playoff race. Mike Tomlin, one of the best coaches in football, yet again, probably not going to have a losing season. It looked like he was going to. TJ Watt comes back, and they're 7-2 with him in the lineup, and now they're only laying 2.5 at home against the Browns. It looks like an easy pick on Pittsburgh, and I'm going Pittsburgh, but you tell me why maybe I should go the Browns.
It's funny. I know I did some shows with some other people, and I was kind of mocking the Browns and say, Pittsburgh's the pick. And I woke up today and said, I'm taking Cleveland. I just looked at that and I see, Drew, I do a lot of dumb things in my life. Cleveland played pretty well against Washington. Here's the thing about Pittsburgh. That was a real tight game against Baltimore. But Kenny Pickett and the boys managed to get it done. And you're right about Tomlin. Not just a good human being. He's a damn good football coach, and they play for him. And Watt's an animal. But here's the thing. Cleveland, I think, is going to want to end the season On a high note, it's been bad with Watson, but they played well against Washington. They go into Pittsburgh. I still think they have the weapons. I think this game is very close. I'm getting 2.5 points with the dog. I will take Cleveland Brown, and they would love to basically end Pittsburgh's season. They don't like each other, these teams. Remember back in the day, Drew, the brawls and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting Cleveland's best effort here, and I think Cleveland wins by a field goal. I can understand people taking Pittsburgh at -2.5. It looks easy, but as you know, in the NFL, nothing's easy.
Sometimes it's easy, Cam. Like Tom Brady last week, we knew he was going to win. Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers, Cam.
Yeah, it was easy. Was it easy, Drew? Till what, the fourth quarter?
Little sprinkle on a live bet when I saw them down double digits. I'll tell you that much.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'll give the Pittsburgh Steelers some credit. They're battling. Their defense is unbelievable. If I'm a team in the AFC, a top dog, I don't want to see the Steelers come into my house with that defense. I'll be honest. Their offense can't really move the ball as efficient as some other teams like the Chargers and the Ravens as the wild card if Lamar Jackson comes back. But the Steelers defense is dangerous. But I'm going to take them by 2.5, Cam. This game means their playoff lives are on the line. They have to win this football game. I would take this up to probably 4.5, 5.5. I just think they're the better football team. I think Deshaun Watson hasn't been playing up to his standards that we've seen in his career. And I don't think that starts all of a sudden in week 18. So give me the Steelers. Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
Steelers, guaranteed.
Correct. Yeah, guaranteed. He's a Mike Tomlin fan. We know that.
This is the one thing I'm good at. If my star picks were,
if your job was to pick where the tiebreaker was going, yeah, you'd be absolutely rolling in it.
Yeah, you'd be coming to my, hey, Drew, you want to come play on my beautiful golf course and stay in my mansion that I owned if I was actually betting Bagman's picks? But yeah, that Steelers. Hey, I know this is a little bit of a leap of faith here with the Browns, but should be a good. Drew, I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be a grind that game, big time.
Yeah, I could see it being 13-0 though. I don't know if Cleveland will score, but yeah, moving on. The Philadelphia Eagles, Cam, hosting the New York Giants. The Giants look like they're going to be resting all of their starters. I mean, I know Dable came out and said like, hey, I'm going to play my guys a little bit, but they're not going to upset the Philadelphia Eagles here. The question is, can they cover the spread with their backups? It's 14 points. The Eagles win this game. They get the 1 seed. Jalen Hurts probably going to play maybe a quarter or two till they go up. Like if they're up by 21 points at half, he probably just sits, right? So do they cover the 14?
That's an interesting thing, Drew, and we'll give a pick for the game because we have to, but this is what I would do with this game. I'd probably take Philadelphia early, first quarter, first half. We can do that stuff because that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to get a lead, and then the back door will be open for the Giants. But on the show, we make picks for the total game, front to back. So I'll take the G-Men getting 14. This team's also, congratulations to the Giants for making the playoffs. One of our callers on shows that do, Bob from Vermont, said they were going to make the playoffs, and we kind of laughed at him, but they've won 9 football games and totally overachieved this year. I like Danny Dimes. I like this Giants team. I think they lose this football game, obviously, but you're asking Philadelphia to cover 2 touchdowns. That's a lot, Drew. Give me the G-Men.
Yeah, I'm going to be with you on the G-Men. I just think that, like we said, Philadelphia is going to be up 20 points or something in the third or fourth quarter. Then they just bench everybody because it's not worth it. And then the Giants get that backdoor cover. 14 points is a lot of points. If this was 9.5, maybe I stay with Philly, but 14 is too much for a divisional game. Even if it's the backups, they're still going to get up for this game to try and maybe upset the Eagles. If this upset happens, it would shock the football world and it would mess up the NFC standings altogether. But speaking of the Giants quickly, apparently Daniel Jones is in talks for a long-term extension, or they want to give him a long-term extension. What do you think of that?
I think it's smart.
You think it's smart?
Yes. Because, okay, let's take a look at some of the quarterbacks in the league, okay?
Oh, I agree with you.
This is the thing. People are like, oh, Daniel Jones, is he a bum? Really? Okay. You could be with Washington with Prince Harry and Heineke mufflers and all these other losers that every team trolls out every single weekend. Daniel Jones can run. If you give him any type of weapons, he can throw. He is actually a decent quarterback when you give him time. And you know what? I understand sometimes he fumbles and makes bad decisions. But when you look at these quarterbacks and what he's done with that team, I think the Giants have to sign him. You don't meet many quarterbacks that are that swift on his feet and can still make plays. And that's a 1-2 punch with him and Barkley with their legs. You got to sign this guy. I like Daniel Jones.
Cam, I just hate the whole kicking the can down the road with my average QB. I'm a big fan of, you know what? He's never going to be the top dog and he's never going to be the bottom dog. So this is like, it reminds me of, I'm trying to think of some teams that do this, like the Vikings. Like I know Kirk Cousins is great this season, sure, but this is a bad example maybe. Or the Broncos before they had Peyton Manning. Like they're always going to be the average quarterback, kicking the can down the road. Hopefully we can win. Hopefully we can win. Hopefully we can win. But you can't win the Super Bowl unless you have that franchise guy. And to me, signing Daniel Jones blocks you from ever winning the Super Bowl.
I disagree. But
is he?
That's
my
Would
opinion. You rather Derek Carr or Daniel Jones?
That's a great question. See, that I think it's almost a pick 'em. but I kind of
I take Derek Carr 10 out of 10
I think
times.
Derek Carr is a better thrower of the football with time, but I think Daniel Jones is much more electric with his feet, and that's the modern football game. To me, it's a push. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, man, we will agree to disagree, Cam. I
That's
just
fine.
don't like. I'd rather roll the dice and take a gamble on a bunch of young kids.
Listen, they
until we
won
hit on
9 games
franchise
with the
quarterback.
guy this year. Is somebody going to
Oh, I know. He's going to get a
the old
2-year deal
Barry
around.
Horowitz pat on the back? Okay, he's way better than he was when he first came into the league.
If it's Geno Smith or Derek Carr, you're taking Derek Carr and Seattle.
Derek Carr. I take
okay.
Daniel Jones over Geno Smith in a heartbeat. It's not even debatable.
Fair. All right, moving on, Cam. The Dallas Cowboys going to Washington to take on the Commanders. Ron Rivera seemed to not understand that he was eliminated from the playoffs. Did you see that press conference? He was like, wait, we're eliminated?
I got to be honest with you, too. And we're like, wow, I love your text that you gave me on the weekend. And I was like depressed. I didn't have a real good week after these fourth quarter meltdowns. But you might as well have started Heineke because Carson Wentz is awful. And another thing is, in retrospect, Drew, he did all his stuff against the 49ers at the end of the game when they weren't even trying. So, but very bad job by Washington's coaching staff evaluating talent in the whole season. But here's what I'm going to do with this game. They're at home. It's their final game of the year. I'm asking Dallas, what is the line? 5.5 by the time of taping.
Yep.
I will take Washington to cover the spread. Dallas might squeak out a win, but I will take the home dog in this spot. I don't know why. I don't really have any data to back it up, but I'm just going to say this is more of a vibe pick. Give me Washington plus 5.5.
Cam, you know what vibe I have? It's an angry vibe because I switched off the Browns to Washington on a Friday show. And it pissed me off watching on Sunday. I was like, why did I switch off this team? Like, this team sucks. So I can't back the Washington Commanders in the final week of the season. Dallas is going to absolutely slaughter them. I mean, Washington's season's meaningless now. They're figuring out who their backup quarterback's going to be next year because there's no way they start either Heineke or Wentz. So give me Dallas Cowboys and Prescott to win this game. They're still alive for the 1 seed in the NFC, Cam. Never mind the division if the Eagles somehow lose. Yeah, they'll probably be scoreboard watching, but before that, they're going to end up being up by 20 in this game. So give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Drew, can I just say something to you? You forgot 1, 2, 3 earlier games.
I got them all here. Don't worry, Cam.
No, but we should. Don't you think we should go in order?
They are in order on my sheet. They are in order on my sheet. Don't worry.
I love you, buddy, but like,
I'll go back. Don't worry. Anyways, where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
Mystery tiebreaker is going with Dallas.
Oh, how did you know? You're.
Was it that hard?
Yeah. All right, Cam.
You're killing me today. By the way,
we'll go back to the 1 o'clock.
I just realized I'm looking at the blocks. I'm like, where's the Saints? Like, what?
Yeah, it's because I started on Sunday at 1 instead of Saturday. But we're gonna do a little rewind here.
Okay.
Refresh. Go back to Saturday. Back to the future. Back to the past. Whatever you want to call it.
I'm just. I don't want to be a jerk. I'm just saying I'm your friend.
I get it. You're the raging redhead. You can't ever let me get away with anything. You just gotta control the show and yell at me in front of all the viewers. I get it.
No.
I'm joking. The Chiefs going to Las Vegas, Cam, to take on the Raiders. Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs probably lock up the 1 seed depending on how the NFL handles this Bills-Bengals game. It's likely going to be a no contest, meaning they stay where they are, which means the Chiefs win and they get the bye week. Cam, where are you going in this one? The Chiefs by 7.5, or you think the Raiders can cover at home with Jared Studham? I mean, he looked pretty good last week.
Yeah, he did actually. I'll give Stidham a little bit of credit. I still think McDaniel's a clown. I think their owner, Davis, like what you've done to this team, Versace or Bread, we talked about, he did a great job. The players liked him. Now Carr doesn't have Adams in the same situation. You basically ruined the Raiders franchise. It's a disgrace. They've only won 6 football games this year, but Stidham played well last week. Now you're asking Kansas City to cover numbers, which they don't do. This team is unbelievable. It's so funny, Drew. Take a look at 9-1 outright in their last 10, yet 2-7-1 ATS. They're money burners. And the thing is, they might go and blow the Raiders away, but I just can't do it. Kansas City wins games, don't cover numbers. Raiders, I like what I saw. Maybe a lot of guys playing for jobs, and we're getting over a touchdown. Give me the silver and black, please.
Cam, the one thing that scares me, 60% of the public is on the Raiders.
There's a lot of things that scare me.
The lines dropped from +10 to +7.5.
You are correct.
So
I might change this pick at the end of the week, but I'm giving you the Raiders right now.
With the reverse line movement and with the 1 seed being on the line, I think this is where Mahomes and the gang get riled up, and this is where they start. Like, they're going to have a week off, so they need to show out in this game. I think Mahomes throws 4 touchdowns, locks up that MVP award, and they smoke the Raiders out of their own building. I think Stidham played great last week. That's why they were calling him Studham on Twitter. But I think that ends this week. I don't think he's their quarterback of the future. If they think he's the quarterback of the future because of 2-game performance, then their franchise is just, there's no hope for them moving forward, Cam. But I'll take the Chiefs in this spot. And where do you think mystery tiebreaker man's going?
Kansas City.
Ooh, wrong one. First wrong one of the day. Going with the Raiders. I don't know why.
See, Drew? Because I got cocky doing all those picks. Before I was just kind of nailing them down. And now I'm like, ooh, I can't lose. And the minute I felt that way, Mystery Bag Man goes opposite to what I think. Taking a
Exactly.
dog.
Loves Versace bread coming back maybe and coaching them
It's a
in this
good
game.
bread.
Who knows?
Good bread.
All right. The Titans going well, the Titans and Jacksonville game is Sunday night, so we'll move that. Well, Saturday night, so we can talk about it right now.
Yeah. Well, we just talked about the Saturday game with the Chiefs, so let's talk about the next game on Saturday.
I saw Sunday night football, but it's Saturday night
I
football.
can tell you're rattled. Your kids are at home over the break. Like, you're all over the place here. You know, you
Cam,
need Drew. You need some meditation, buddy. I love you. I can tell you those kids are driving you nuts.
Yeah, and what we saw on Monday Night Football did rattle me to my core. I'll be honest. The Jacksonville Jaguars, Cam, 6.5-point favorites at home against the Tennessee Titans. Cam, this line's a joke. I understand people love the Jaguars and Doug Peterson, but I'll tell you right now, I'm taking the Titans 10 out of 10 times with the 6.5-point spread. Dobbs looked fine. Could the Lawrence and the Jags blow them out? Maybe, but this is going to be a running, tight football game, defensive game. I can't see this being a 30-23 game. I see it being 17-14 for either side. So give me the Titans plus 6.5. They don't even have to win this game. This is too many points, Cam.
You know what, Drew? I love you, buddy. And you did such a good job on that game. I don't even need to speak. Everything you said is true. They rested Henry for this spot. Dobbs actually made plays in that game. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even have to do anything. That's a beautiful thing about being a Tennessee quarterback. You don't have to do much. Just don't throw picks and don't screw up, and you'll cover the game. I think Jacksonville maybe wins this game by a field goal at most. Reading your mail, Drew, give me the Titans. I think this is their spot. They've been horrible, beat down, Vrabel. Everything leads up to this game, and they show up. I would not be shocked if they won outright.
And they haven't gotten respect all season, Cam. They're 5-2-1 ATS on the road this season, which means they're covering these numbers. And Sam Cassell at quarterback, like the Dobbs looks like, you have to admit, he's like his twin. I think he can win this game outright, never mind covering the numbers. So we're both on the Tennessee Titans, surprisingly. All right.
We are.
Baltimore going to Cincinnati. We don't know if this game's going to happen. We don't know if the Bengals are going to be ready to play this. We don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to be back. People are saying he could hold out all through the playoffs because of his injury. He's proving his point, like, hey, this is why I want a long-term deal. I don't see that as like the competitor inside of me. I don't think I could hold out, but maybe he does. The Bengals are 6.5-point favorites at home. AFC North could be on the line. Like, we don't know what this game means, Cam. Like, this could be a meaningless game. The Bengals are locked into the 3 seed. But let's pretend that the AFC North is on the line in this game. Do you like the Bengals by 6.5 or the Ravens?
Yes, I do. I think the Cincinnati Bengals offense is so dangerous right now. They could beat you in so many ways. You give Burrow any type of protection, he will carve up the Ravens. The Ravens aren't even that good. The fact that they've won 10 games is shocking to me. The Bengals are just a superior football team to them. They're 5-1 at home. Can you believe these guys, Drew? Their last 10 at home, 9-1 ATS, 5-1 ATS.
They're covering machines.
Yeah, oh, they are. All they do is print money. And the thing is, I don't want to get in front of them. I'll take this line all the way up to 7.5. Hell, I think the Bengals win this game by like 10-13. Give me Cincinnati.
The issue is Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat them earlier in the year. Cam.
I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if it's Huntley, Lamar Jackson, a J.K. Dobbins in a Wildcat. It doesn't matter to me. Cincinnati, I know they're going to be emotionally distraught with the Buffalo Bills in that spot, but you know what? They're a much better football team, and you're just telling me to look at the game the way it is. Bengals, all they have to do is win by a touchdown. I'm in.
Yeah, I'll be on the Bengals with you. I was just trying to play devil's advocate because it wouldn't shock me to see Lamar and the Ravens cover this number, Cam, even if he plays. If Lamar's not in this game, they're not covering this number. So give me the Bengals by 6.5. Moving on, Cam, the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 4.5-point favorites at home because Tampa locked up the 4 seed. Brady probably not playing. Evans probably not playing. Godwin not playing. The list goes on and on. All their starters probably aren't playing this game, Cam. So does that mean easy cover for Atlanta? What do you think?
Nothing's easy for Atlanta, but I'll take them. If you like Atlanta, get it at 4.5. This thing might go to 5.5, 6.
Yeah.
I think Tampa Bay is going to rest everybody. This is the beautiful thing. This is a perfect game to take a bad team in Atlanta at home, feeling good about the season, getting a win, just doing your thing. Are they going to win by 5? I don't know. I need that to cover the spread. I think they win by a touchdown or 10. So I'm going to take Frankie Falcon in this one because this is what bad teams do at home in their final game. Tampa Bay, you can't get anybody hurt. You're a veteran team there. Give me Atlanta. Don't love it, but I'll take it.
My only thing, Cam, is if you're Arthur Smith and the Falcons, you want to lose this game to get a higher pick. A win in this game could drop you from a top 3 pick to all the way to like 7, 8, 9, which is a huge difference. But yeah, right. I think the guys on the team don't give a shit about the first overall draft pick, second overall draft pick. They don't care. They just want to beat Tampa Bay.
No, why would they?
Buccaneers.
And the thing is, when you're a team like Atlanta, I'm just going to say this: they're playing for jobs. They're playing for jobs.
True.
So
and they got their quarterback, so
they don't care. They don't care about the point spread. They want to go in there and just beat Tampa Bay, end the season on a strong note. Drew, go for a couple drinks and say, you know what, we're going to be better next year. Hopefully, Ritter's the guy. Falcons, but you know what? You're right. It's scary at 4.5 because they just might squeak something out, or maybe they lose a heartbreaker. To your theory, I doubt it though. I think they're going to take personal pride and win the game.
All right, we are both on Frank Falcon, or what do we call him, Fonzie Falcon?
I like Fonzie Falcon, but Frank Falcon will do.
Yeah, he was Fonzie Falcon last week for me. I needed him to cover.
That's Fonzie Falcon. Yeah, Frank Falcon. You better cover this week, Falcon.
New England Patriots, Cam, going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Buffalo, 7.5-point favorites. Again, we don't know if this game's going to happen. We don't know if the Bills are going to play. It might be a forfeit. Who knows how this plays out? Hopefully it's not a forfeit, because I would hate for the Patriots to get in the playoffs because of that. I don't even know if Belichick would accept it. I don't know the rules around this stuff, Cam. Like, I don't even know if can you just hand a team a win? Like, I don't know if the NFL would even allow it. But let's pretend this game is going to happen. The Bills are 7.5-point favorites. They've dominated the Patriots in most games outside of that Hurricane game where all they could do was run the football. Probably need to lock into the second seed with a crazy chance of getting the 1 seed if you're the Bills, assuming that Bengals game's a no contest. So I'm going to take the Bills here by 7.5. I think they'll be playing for their brother in DeMar Hamlin. I think they get up for this game, and I think they blow the Patriots out of the building.
Well said, Drew. I think they're going to be playing with like sad hearts, but once they hit that field and see it's New England, they're going to play for their brother. I think Buffalo is a much better team. I think Mac Jones is regressing at a horrible pace. He's also, as I mentioned before, it's amazing. He is the dirtiest player in the league. Nobody on Twitter gave me a thank you for that one when I told you about his grabbing the nuts and tripping people and stuff. Anyway, he's a dirtbag. Give me Buffalo by 2 touchdowns in this game at home. Give the fans something to cheer about. It's been a horrible week for Buffalo. Honest to God, like, if there is anything out, can you please spare the city of Buffalo and the people of Buffalo any more grief? Can you give them something to cheer about, please? I'm so sick and tired of the city and their people and fans getting beat down. I like Buffalo Bill. I hope they absolutely crush the Patriots this week.
Yeah, and we know for sure it'll be an emotional game if it happens on both sides. I mean, it affected the NFL world, so we'll be riding with the Bills. Even if it's the wrong pick, I'm not getting off this train. I don't care if it rides to 14.5. I got to back the Bills this week.
I agree.
All right, Cam, Minnesota.
It won't go to 14.5. It might go up to like 8 or 8.
No, I know. I was exaggerating a little bit. But,
yeah, I know.
The Vikings going to Chicago to take on the Bears, Cam. 5.5-point road favorites. This line opened at 1 point. It's grown to 5.5, which means people think the Vikings are just going to smoke them because they have the chance to get the 1 seed. I read the tea leaves so wrong on the Vikings last week. I gave them so much credit thinking, you know what?
Yeah, me too.
They don't want their Packers division opponents to be in the playoffs. They're going to get up for this game and beat the Green Bay Packers. And we saw the most embarrassing performance. Justin Jefferson, 2 catches. Are you kidding me? Kirk Cousins is scared to throw on Jair Alexander. Their offense couldn't move the football. Green Bay looked like the better football team all over the field. Cam, offense, defense, special teams. You know what? Vikings, could they cover this game? Yeah, but I'm not taking them to cover it. No way. Not 5.5.
No way. I'm with you. And this line opens up. We're getting 5.5 with Chicago now. Minnesota's they're the opposite of a Viking who comes in there and like pillages and murders people with swords. They're like a lap dog, a purse dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
This team is unbelievable. Like they really upset me last week, Drew. That was a good spot to make a statement. They don't. That's Minnesota football right there, and they should be better. I can't believe they're a 12-4 football team. I'll take Chicago as a home dog, getting 5.5. Last game of the season, I think they leave it all out on the line, and they can't really move up in the draft. They got 3 wins, so like
they could get the first overall pick though if Houston wins.
But it doesn't matter, first, second, or whatever. You're going to get a great player.
Think about the trade fodder though for Bryce Young. You already have Fields. If someone needs to move up to 1 and you're in that spot, you can get a boatload of picks.
I couldn't care less. Chicago, I think they cover 5.5.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, if all of a sudden Justin Fields drops back and it snaps over his head and they blow a lead late, like, it doesn't matter. They'll cover the number, but I'm saying, like, you can see some shenanigans.
Justin Fields is their quarterback, Drew. They're not drafting.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm saying they're going to get that pick and they could trade out of it. That's what they want.
They need defense and offensive line. They don't need a quarterback. They need
100%.
Other areas.
Or some weapons for Justin Fields. But yeah, okay, so we're both on the Bears plus 5.5. Speaking of first overall pick, Houston needs the loss here to lock it up. And they're 2.5-point road dogs in Indianapolis. Jeff Saturday, probably the last game he's ever going to coach. I don't think he's earned that job. Like he said, like, oh, maybe I earned the job for next season. Doesn't look like it, Jeff.
No.
Nick Foles, scary collision, and the celebration beside him was absolutely disrespectful. And then it continued on the sideline. It was disgusting. Cam, Give me the Colts here. I think this is the one. Houston's the one team where the owner's like, hey, here's $5,000, throw this game. Here's $5,000, throw this game. Like, we need Bryce Young. We need that first overall pick. So we need to lose this game, and it's 2.5 points. I think the Colts win it in this spot, Cam.
I don't even know why we're talking about this game. I would like this game, like, put an X through it every week. I think we should just put an X through a game. This game reeks. I hate the Houston Texans for what they've done to me this year. Every time I've taken them, good spot against Jacksonville, you get blown out. You know what, Drew? This is what's going to happen too. I'm going to take them this week. As I hate them that much again, because you know what? I can just continue my hate. I will take the 2.5. I'm not laying any points with the Indianapolis. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Don't matter to me. Give me Houston in this spot. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm just not taking.
You don't believe in the throwing the football games, then? Like, you think they're going to come get out for this game and try and win this football game?
They can lose by 1 or 2. And
that's true. That's true. That's fair. Fair. Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
I think he's going with the horseshoe.
Yeah, he's with me on the Colts. We both believe that. We both believe in throwing football games because we've seen it in our lifetimes, Cam. People who say it's never happened.
Too.
Like, stop lying to yourself. People throw games all the time.
Houston, some guys are playing for contracts, but anyway, we're not going to have this discussion now. I think this is a horrible football game, and if you're betting, and honestly, like, I'm probably going to bet this game, and I need help because you shouldn't be betting this.
I don't think I'm going to watch a second of this football game unless it comes up on Red Zone, and it's like, oh, look, here's the one touchdown in this game. Because
if we take a prop, this game will not, like, if I have nothing invested in, no, of course we're not going to watch this game. It sucks. What do we got next?
Miami hosting the New York Jets, Cam. The Dolphins 1-point favorites at home. Outside chance for both these teams to make the playoffs. Actually, so no, sorry, the Jets cannot make it. The Dolphins still can, though. Do you like Mike White and the Jets here to go and upset the Dolphins? And McDaniel, after saying, like, you wish it was colder, your team just losing games. So
good work, McDaniel. Another one of these child geniuses that everyone anoints. Like, this team's a train wreck. I can't believe Miami went from almost winning that division to being an 8-8 football team. I will take them this week in the final game of the season. We're only laying 1 now. Mine open up at 4. Give me Miami. But you know what? This is another game that I don't like. Jets also a very disappointing performance on the road against Seattle. They were horrible in that game. I'll take Miami. Hold my breath. This is another game that reeks.
Cam, I'm going to go with the Jets just because I like Mike White more than Tua, surprisingly. And I think that they want to play spoiler for the Miami Dolphins. And you know what? The reverse line movement. I'm following all the rules that we didn't follow half the year. The line opened at 4. It's now down to 1, and it's 66% on the Dolphins. So that tells me they're trying to trap you. Like, hey, look, it's only 1 point on the Dolphins. Take the Dolphins. Take the Dolphins. And I'm not falling for it, Cam. I'm sick of falling for these traps all season. So give me the New York Jets. Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
Dolphins.
Correct. Oh, so 4-1. 4-1 picking the only one you got.
I told you, if this was the game instead of picking football, I'd be very successful in life.
100%.
So Drew, this is the thing. So I'm going to tell you. So you did these games now. So now you did some games. So now we're going to go.
We're going to Chargers. Yeah. 100%. Don't worry, Cam.
I have no idea. Like, what is this, Tetris?
I'm driving this crazy train. I'm like Ozzy Osbourne, okay? I'm just
You're not like Ozzy Osbourne, but yes, this is. I have no idea what's going on here, but let's do it.
Hey, I could bite a head off a bat. No, I wouldn't. That'd be disgusting.
I put mayonnaise in my coffee like that guy Will Levis did. You know, the quarterback of Kentucky. I did it on air. You know,
that's
Drew.
disgusing.
We used to work at Fantasy Sports. There's a lot of disgusting things I do, but the problem is I don't even get paid to do these things. So why do I do them and kill myself?
I remember the one time you lost a bet on air. You had to eat. It was like
milk bowl.
Wet. No, it was like wet tofu.
Yeah.
You were like, pretend it's a steak, and it was like a glob of glue. It was friggin' disgusting.
I ate worse stuff than that. The only thing I haven't done is wet dog food, and I won't do wet dog food.
No,
what do we got here? Chargers.
Yeah,
Denver?
sorry. The Broncos are 3-point dogs at home with Russell Wilson, looking like he's playing better since Hackett left, Cam. It looks like Hackett was the problem. But the Chargers locked into their spot in the AFC. Actually, no, sorry. They can move up to 5 if the Ravens lose. So they could get that spot
from the
Baltimore Ravens. So they need to win. Chargers, 3-point favorites, Cam. Do you think they go into Denver and beat the Broncos here? 70% of the public thinks they do.
Drew, audience out there, I know this is a tough world. Everyone's a loser. Everyone's pick sucks. Everyone's a gearbox, a tool, whatever the hell you want to say. I'm taking Denver, and it's one of my favorite games of the week.
Wow.
And I think Denver's at home. The Lightning Bolts what do they have to do? They have to worry about the playoffs. What, you think you're going to run Eckler 30 times in this game? And Herbert, if anybody gets hurt in that Chargers team, first of all, they have this amount of a chance of doing anything. And with those guys hurt, they'd be like doing nothing. Denver's at home, horrible season, bad taste in your mouth. I'm getting 3 points. Give me Bobby Bronco. I think they win this game outright. I will take the 3.
Cam, I'm only worried that
I'm worried about everything, Drew, as I
so
said, but I love Denver this week. I
the
don't
only
know
way
why.
I'd like Denver is if Baltimore somehow winning their football game by a lot and Chargers like, you know what, there's no point in us trying because we can't get the 5 seed. I think if you're LA, you'd much rather go to Tennessee or Jacksonville than have to go to Cincinnati or Buffalo in round 1, correct?
The line tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
They could have made this line 4.5 and you'd still get Charger money. Just saying.
It's true. I mean, but at least the line's growing to the side. It's not reverse line movement. It is growing the right way. So I'm going to take the Chargers, Cam. I just think that they get up for this game. You know what? The Denver Broncos, we saw it's emotional there. They're getting up for Russell Wilson. They're defending their quarterback. They should have beat the Chiefs last week. In the fourth. Did you see the end of that game, Cam? That 4th down, Russell Wilson absolutely body slammed like it's the WWE, like slammed on his neck and no call. If that was Tom Brady or Mahomes, that's instantly 15 yards and the game's still alive.
I will say this. I've been, negative on Russell Wilson, but he has taken shots at other quarterbacks, like get flat. You breathe on Patrick Mahomes, it's a flag. Like he's the new Tom.
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable. Like I see this guy get touched and he's talking to the ref. They're already, hey, buddy, you in the State Farm commercial. I will say this about Russell Wilson. You're right. And that's a great observation by you. He's been murdered this year. And other calls, if that happened to Brady or Mahomes, guys would be ejected. They don't get flags on the play.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Good, astute observation by you. I'm not a Russell Wilson
fan,
fan, Drew, but he has been murdered this year.
Yeah, Cam, I was watching. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's 15 yards. He just got picked up and slammed on his head on the 4th down.
Didn't care.
No flag at all. They don't care about player safety. All right, where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
Chargers.
All right, well, you're 5-1 now, Cam. The Chargers. The Chargers are.
Can I make mystery bagman's tiebreaker picks my picks every week?
Yeah,
that's what I want to do.
That's just all of your picks. Just only bet his picks.
Yes.
What are we, Rams, Cam? The Rams. Rams going to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. It could be Geno Smith's last game as starter for Seattle. Maybe they extend him. Who knows? Could be Baker Mayfield's last game as a starter in the NFL. Probably is. I don't know who else takes him on as starter. Where are you going on this one?
Take the Seahawks. They showed something against the Jets that week. Very impressive performance, actually. They were left for dead. Got to just say it, this Rams. I thought the Rams were actually going to beat the Chargers, Drew. That tells you how stupid I am. I'm going to take Seattle. All they got to do is win by a touchdown. It's under that threshold. Don't love it. Rams divisional game could be close, but you know what? I think Seattle wants to show some pride here. You know what? They're an 8-8 football team right now. If they have a winning season with all those young kids, I think it means a big deal to them. So I'll take Seattle. I think they win the game. I'm just not sure if they're going to cover, but I say they win by a touchdown, cover by the hook. Give me Seattle.
I'm going to go with Seahawks as well, Cam. I think they get up for this game, playoffs on the line. And Detroit, maybe they can beat Green Bay later. That's what they got to think in their heads. So I think they get up. They beat the LA Rams team by more than 7 points. The Rams didn't play well last week. And I don't think they play well again this week in Seattle. It's a tough spot to win a road game when the team at home is a must-win, Cam. So give me the Seahawks to win this game by 7 points. And this will be the last we see of Baker Mayfield as a starting quarterback, at least as the week 1 starting quarterback, because who knows how quarterbacks go down, like that stuff happens. All right, Cam, moving on. Arizona going to San Fran to take on the 49ers. 49ers still alive for the 1 seed, depending on what happens with the Philadelphia Eagles and all that stuff. Like the NFC is wide open if the Eagles lose that game. So where are you going on this one? You going with San Fran by 14 points? It's a lot of points.
No, I'm going to take the Cardinals and hold my breath here. San Fran understands something. Their defense can win them a Super Bowl even with Purdy. If I was San Francisco, I'd barely you got to be really careful this week with certain players on your team, because you have some guys that you're going to need to run the gauntlet.
I probably don't even play CMC, Cam.
No, I agree with that. I think the 49ers is very similar to the Eagles game, are going to be up early and the back door is going to be open with Arizona, even though they're a horrible team. Like you could leave the door open for the Cardinals and they'll probably not even fly through it. They'll fly into a tree. But I will take Arizona at plus 14 and hopefully the Cardinal gets through. I could see a backdoor cover for the Birds here. I will take the 14 points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, Cam, you don't make money betting 14-point favorites in the NFL. So I will take the 14-point dogs, the Arizona Cardinals. As viewers of the show know, I absolutely despise betting on the Cardinals, but I think like Cam said, the backdoor is wide open. I think if San Fran's up by 3 touchdowns, 17 points, whatever it is, they're going to be like, you know what, Purdy, you're sitting here, we need you. CMC, you're sitting here, we need you. Kittle, here. Bosa, here. All their top guys are going to be sitting down because they don't want to risk injury in the playoffs, despite maybe getting the 1 seed, which is highly unlikely. The Eagles lose to the Giants. So I think the Cardinals cover this number on the back door. Speaking of Sunday Night Football, Cam, the Detroit Lions going to Green Bay to take on the Packers. I hate what the NFL did to the Lions in this spot. I think it's cowardly. I know they flexed it here because people are like, oh, it's Aaron Rodgers winning in. But now, if Detroit sees Seattle win that football game, they can't get in the playoffs. So this game means nothing to them. Usually the NFL makes sure the games happen at the same time so teams can't play differently based off results. But like if you're Detroit and you just watch Seattle win, you're going to be like, oh man, like that's a heartbreaking. Now with this game doesn't matter. Like how do you get up for that football game, Cam, if you don't even have a chance of the playoffs?
Drew, I'm going to tell you something. You should know. Your guy actually, and for people who don't know, Drew is actually an underrated like floor hockey player and stuff. The guy is a better athlete than he'll lead on. Detroit, Drew, want to know why? It doesn't matter. They want to knock Green Bay out. It doesn't matter about that. It's about taking Green Bay and ruining their lives too. They're divisional rivals who hate each other. I will say this though. If you like Detroit, you can wait in the situation. Depends what happens on the game. We have to make picks now. Detroit beat Green Bay earlier on in the season. They will be up for this game. Give me the damn Lions plus 4.5 in this spot. Is it a spite pick? Maybe. But I think Detroit is going to bring their A game big time. You don't think Campbell wants to knock Green Bay out of the playoffs? Trust me, it's a dream. These guys are going to be frothing at the mouth. It's going to be a closer game than people think. And if Green Bay wins, they win between 1 and 4. I'm getting 4.5. Your call.
Cam, I've been off the Packers train the last 2 weeks, and it's done me dirty the last 2 times against Miami and Minnesota. I'm not getting off it this week. I think Seattle wins that football game.
This is perfect then. This is the time they screw up then when you're on them. Excellent.
They're rolling. Jared Goff is absolutely dreadful on the road this season, Cam. The Lions have not looked the same. At home, they've been great. On the road.
Really, Drew? Oh, let's bring some facts to the table. They're 4-3 ATS on the road.
Yes, but Jared Goff doesn't win football games, and that's what they're going to essentially need. 4.5 is not that many points. I think Green Bay wins this game by 14 to 17 points, Cam. I think this is an absolute blowout. If Seattle wins prior, if Seattle loses, and this game is winning in for either side, then I might sprinkle a little on the Detroit Lions side.
Don't you owe me for a side bet for certain things this year? Don't you owe me like 5 pounds of wings and beers or something like that earlier on in the season? Didn't that happen?
Know.
I got to start breaking these things down. Anyway, Drew, we're going to have a side bet in this game. How many points will you give me with Detroit? You give me a touchdown?
I'll give you 6.5.
I want 7.
No, 6.5. That's how it is.
No, I'll take.
Sorry, if Seattle wins, I'll give you 7.
Okay, good. If Seattle wins, you'll give me 7.
Yeah.
What's the bet? Wings and beers? What do you want to do?
Sure, let's do 2 pounds of wings and 2 beers.
Sounds good.
All right, sounds good. All right,
jugs of beers, but we'll start with 2.
Yeah. All right. Well, 2 pints. It's a lot.
Yeah. We'll start there, Drew.
All right, Cam. Well, where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is for the last game of the regular season?
Can I say Green Bay?
And you'd be incorrect somehow.
Somehow
he's on Leo the Lion.
I know Cam. Mystery Bagman has a disdain for the Packers, though. I've realized over the years too.
A little hate for Aaron Rodgers and the State Farm double check.
Yes, for sure.
All right, Cam. We will see the viewers on our Friday Best Bet show. Where we share our gold, silver, and bronze picks, some props we like, and Survivor selections. Which I don't know if you're alive in Survivor, you already won your pool. Let's be honest. I don't know how. But yeah, Cam. Exciting week. Once again, our thoughts and prayers are with Damar Hamlin and the Buffalo Bills. We don't know how this is going to play out. Neither does the NFL at this moment. We don't know if the game's going to happen. But again, all of the lines that we talked about on the show are powered by Sports Interaction. Please download our podcast wherever you listen to your audio podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever it is. Please download, rate, and review. If you're watching on YouTube, please click like, please click subscribe. It helps out me and Cam, and we appreciate all the positive comments. And yeah, keep calling me Nathaniel Hackett in the comments. I don't care. It's funny to me.
Oh, you did Hackett. That's great.
Yeah. Just I got hair though. Just remember that.
That's true. You're better looking than Nate Hackett. Hey, I got pummeled last week too. So you guys can call me, stooge, blonde eyebrows, whatever. I don't know what you want to call me. You can call me whatever you want. It's fine with me. Just keep the checks coming in and keep us on air, right, Drew?
Exactly. That's what we care about, and we care about winning football bets. So tune into Friday to see our best bets because they've been pretty decent as of late. Besides that one made by Cam last week on the Washington Commanders, but that's another story. All right, everyone, we will see you on Friday. Thanks.
This has been Drew and Stu. Presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's Sportsbook. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.